Welcome to Tell Me Stoic, your hub for unlocking the secrets of human psychology and relationships. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of attraction and connection. Did you know that two simple words could drastically change the way people perceive you? Backed by powerful psychology facts, we'll reveal what these words are and why they work like magic in building authentic, magnetic connections. Whether you're looking to enhance your confidence or better understand the art of communication, this video is for you. Let's explore how to make meaningful impressions that last. Have you ever wondered what truly makes a woman feel connected to you on a deeper, more emotional level? It's not just about how you look or what you say. It's about how you make her feel when you engage with her. The simple phrases "tell me" and "I understand" hold incredible power in building emotional intimacy and trust. But why do they work so well in this video? We're diving deep into why these words go beyond just conversation. We'll explore how they create an emotional bond, allowing you to connect with her in a way that few other things can, by saying, "Tell me." You're not just asking for information, you're inviting her into your world and showing that you truly care. It's about more than just sharing facts. It's about allowing her to be vulnerable and expressing a genuine curiosity about her life, dreams, and emotions. And when you say, "I understand," you're offering something even more powerful: emotional validation. In a world where everyone's constantly looking to fix things, these two words stand out. They tell her, "I see you, I hear you, and your feelings matter." These phrases open the door to real vulnerability and intimacy, key ingredients for building a lasting connection. But that's not all. Stick around until the end to learn how these simple phrases can trigger powerful chemicals in the brain, like dopamine and oxytocin chemicals that strengthen emotional bonds and create lasting trust. We'll also cover practical ways to incorporate these phrases into your everyday conversations, whether you're on a date or deepening an existing relationship. So if you want to learn how to truly connect with her on a deeper level, stay with us till the end of the video, and I promise you'll walk away with the tools to create a more profound and lasting emotional bond. Let's dive in. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin the first word pair. "Tell me" may seem like a simple phrase at first glance, almost too ordinary to carry any special weight. But when you truly consider its impact, you realize it holds an incredible depth of power and meaning. Why does this seemingly simple phrase have such a profound effect? Because at its core, it is an invitation to open a door to her world, a world that she may have kept closed or protected for reasons known only to her. It's an invitation that carries a deep emotional resonance. When you say, "Tell me," you're not merely asking for information. You're extending an offer, a gesture of care and attention that conveys far more than the words themselves ever could. You're offering a space for her to share what's on her mind, to be seen, heard, and understood. Not in a shallow, transactional way, but in a deep, meaningful exchange that fosters intimacy. In that simple phrase, "Tell me," you are subtly signaling that you care. You're telling her that her thoughts matter to you, that the intricacies of her life, her experiences, and her emotions are important to you. You're not just asking for her to recount events or facts. You're opening the door for her to express what truly lives in her heart and soul. Whether she's recounting her joys or her sorrows, her fears or her dreams, by saying, "Tell me," you are offering her a platform, a safe space to reveal herself in a way that only a few people ever truly get the chance to do. in a world that can often feel cold, judgmental, and superficial. This simple invitation becomes a breath of fresh air. It's a reminder to her that she is valued for who she is, not just for what she can do or what she looks like. Why is it that people, especially women, find joy and fulfillment in talking about themselves? Why does sharing one's thoughts, dreams, and personal experiences hold such deep significance for us? It's because, at our core, we all long to feel seen. We want to be understood, not just in a factual way, but in a way that acknowledges the complexity of who we are when we talk about our lives. We are not simply exchanging words or telling stories. We are seeking validation, connection, and affirmation. We are sharing pieces of ourselves, sometimes in the hopes that the listener will understand the emotions behind our words, and other times because we need to be reminded that our existence matters in this vast and often overwhelming world. To be truly heard, to know that someone is listening with empathy and interest, is an experience that makes us feel valued in a way that no material possession or accomplishment ever could. When you ask someone to tell you about their life, you are offering them much more than a conversation. You're giving them the space to be vulnerable. You're inviting them to share the raw, unpolished parts of themselves, the pieces that make them who they are, the moments that shape their worldview, and the passions that fuel their every action. There is something incredibly powerful and moving about this act of vulnerability. It's in these moments of shared intimacy that we connect with another person on a level that transcends surface-level interactions. It's not about the facts or the details alone. It's about the emotional connection that forms when someone feels safe enough to open up. You're not just asking questions to fill the silence or to pass the time. You're creating a space where she can express her inner world, a world that is often hidden behind the masks we wear for the outside world in that space. She doesn't need to pretend or perform. She can just be herself, and that is the greatest gift you can give her in today's fast-paced, constantly connected world, where it's so easy to feel invisible or overlooked. Asking "tell me" is an act of profound love and respect. It shows that you are not just interested in her for the sake of satisfying your curiosity. You're genuinely invested in understanding her on a deeper emotional and psychological level. It's rare to find someone who will take the time to truly listen to, ask questions not to fulfill their agenda, but to nourish the connection between you. The act of asking "tell me" is an acknowledgement that you see her as more than just a person to talk to. You see her as someone worthy of attention, respect, and admiration. This act of emotional investment is especially powerful in the context of romantic relationships. Women in particular often yearn for this kind of deep emotional connection. It's not about grand gestures or empty compliments. It's about the quiet moments of connection, where one person takes the time to show that they truly want to understand the other person. It's in these moments that the foundation for trust, intimacy, and love is built. "Tell me" is the bridge that connects two people beyond the physical and the superficial, creating a bond that is rooted in understanding and mutual respect. By saying "tell me," you are giving her the chance to be seen and heard in a way that is rare in today's world. You are creating a space where her experiences, her feelings, and her passions are valued not just as a means to an end, but as an end in themselves. It's a rare and beautiful gift that allows her to be vulnerable, to expose the parts of herself that are most precious, and to be met with empathy, care, and understanding. In return, you receive the priceless gift of knowing her, not just the version of her that exists in public, but the full, complex, multi-act person who exists behind closed doors. Ultimately, this simple phrase, "tell me," is not just an invitation to share words, but an invitation to share souls. It's an act of emotional intimacy, an acknowledgement of the humanity we all share, and a profound reminder of the deep connections that are possible when we truly listen to one another. Women in particular are deeply wired to seek emotional connection in their relationships, while physical attraction certainly has its place in the dance of romance. It is the emotional connection that truly forms the bedrock of any enduring and meaningful bond. Emotional connection is not just a nice-to-have, it is a vital, irreplaceable part of building a genuine relationship. Think of it as the glue that holds everything together, something far stronger and more lasting than any fleeting physical attraction. When you say something as simple as, "Tell me," you're doing so much more than just inviting her into a casual UAL exchange. You're giving her an open door, a chance to step into a deeper conversation where she can share parts of herself she might not readily offer to anyone else. You're inviting her to reveal the things that truly matter to her, her passions, her dreams, her thoughts, and yes, even her fears at that moment by asking her to share more. You are saying to her, "I want to know the real you, the part of you that excites you, that lights a spark in your soul. I care about what makes you tick, what fills your heart with joy, and what leaves you wondering and dreaming. I am interested in what you feel, what you think, and how the world looks through your eyes." When you extend this invitation, you are offering her something precious, your undivided attention. You're telling her, "You are important enough for me to listen beyond the surface level. I want to understand you on a deeper, more intimate level." This is not just about gathering information, it's about building a connection that allows vulnerability to enter the space between you. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in reality, it is the cornerstone of intimacy. When both people in a relationship can be vulnerable with one another, it creates a profound bond that is unlike anything else. Now let's imagine a scenario. You're on a date with her, and she begins to tell you about a recent trip she took. Instead of responding in the typical expected way, like saying, "That sounds cool," or offering a vague, disinterested comment, you lean in, you make eye contact, and show through your posture and your attentiveness that you are deeply invested in what she is saying. You ask, "Tell me more about that. What was the best part of the trip for you?" That question, so simple yet so meaningful, opens the door for her to step into a deeper conversation, one where she can not only recount the events, but relive the emotions and experiences she felt during the trip. It allows her to share the joy and excitement that she felt in those moments, the surprises that made her laugh, and the things that left her in awe. This is not just about the facts of the trip, but about the feeling she had during it, the thrill, the wonder, the happiness in that moment. You've given her something invaluable, the opportunity to express herself freely without fear of judgment. You've created a space where she can talk about the things that truly matter to her, and relive the experiences that shaped her. It's an act of kindness and attentiveness, and it communicates to her that her happiness, her joy, and her passions are important to you. You're showing her that you are actively engaged in her life, that you're not just a passive observer, but a partner who genuinely cares about the moments that bring her joy. She will feel seen and heard, truly understood on a deeper level. And here's the beautiful part. This isn't a one-time thing. It becomes part of the foundation of your relationship. Every time you engage with her in this way, by asking her to share her thoughts, her dreams, her feelings, you are reinforcing the emotional connection between you two. You are strengthening the bond that holds your relationship together. With each conversation, with each exchange, you're telling her, "You matter to me." You're proving that you value her for more than just her appearance or the surface-level traits. You can easily see you value her for who she truly is, for her soul, her heart, and her mind. This kind of deep emotional engagement creates an environment where trust and vulnerability can thrive. It's about more than just listening. It's about being present, being truly present, and investing in what matters most of her. You're not just hearing words, you're feeling her emotions. You're sharing in her excitement, her joy, her disappointment, and her dream. This builds a connection that transcends mere conversation. It becomes a bridge between two souls. The more you listen, the more she'll open up, because she will feel that you are not just hearing her words, but that you are understanding her feelings. This is how real intimacy is formed. It's not about grand gestures or superficial compliments. It's about creating a space where both people feel safe to be vulnerable, where both people are genuinely interested in the other's inner world. It's about showing up with your heart wide open, ready to engage with the person on the deepest level possible when you give her the space to share her emotions, her stories, and her experiences. You're inviting her to trust you. You're building a foundation of intimacy that grows stronger with each passing day, with each conversation, with each shared moment in this kind of relationship. Both people can thrive. It's not about what you can take from each other, but what you give your time, your attention, your understanding, your vulnerability. And the beautiful thing is that this kind of connection becomes a source of strength, of security, of joy. It's the kind of bond that can withstand anything because it's built on trust, respect, and genuine emotional intimacy. So the next time you're with her, don't just ask the surface-level questions, ask the deeper ones, lean in, listen carefully, and create an opening for her to share not just her experiences, but her heart. Because in that moment, you are not just building a conversation, you're building a connection that can last a lifetime. Let's take a deeper dive into the second incredibly powerful phrase "I understand" on the surface. It may seem like just two simple words strung together, but they hold a profound depth of meaning. Why is this phrase so powerful? It's because these words have the incredible ability to offer something many of us desperately need in this world: emotional validation. We live in a society where conversations are often dominated by the desire to fix things, to solve problems, to provide advice, or to jump into action. But "I understand" stands apart from all of that, because it doesn't rush in to offer solutions or judgments. It simply pauses and acknowledges the person's emotions. It says, in essence, "I see you. I recognize your pain, your frustration, your joy, or your sorrow. I know what you're going through, and I honor it." This simple act of validation is not just a courtesy or a polite gesture. It is in fact incredibly powerful. In a world where we are often bombarded with advice and quick fixes, being genuinely understood is a rare and precious gift. When you say "I understand," you're offering the person something invaluable: the assurance that their feelings matter, that they are seen, and that their emotions are not only acknowledged but respected. It's a deep emotional connection that communicates far more than words ever could. It's a bridge between two people, one built on empathy, trust, and a shared understanding that transcends the superficial. Imagine this: she's had a tough day at work, one of those days where everything seems to go wrong, where stress piles on top of stress, and she's just feeling worn out. She comes home and instead of launching into a detailed explanation of her frustrations, she starts talking about the events of her day. It's easy for most people to jump right into problem-solving mode. You might hear, "Well, why don't you try this?" or "Next time, maybe you should." But here's where the magic of "I understand" comes in. Instead of trying to fix things or jump to conclusions, you simply take a moment to validate her feelings. You say, "I understand that sounds frustrating, and I can only imagine how tough that must be." Those few words, so simple, yet so full of empathy, are a balm for her weary soul. At that moment you give her exactly what she needs. Not a solution, not advice, not even sympathy, but the priceless gift of being understood. You don't rush to make things better or fix the situation. You don't offer empty platitudes. You simply create a space where she can express her feelings without fear of judgment or criticism. You allow her to feel heard and, most importantly, respected by doing so. You're showing her that her emotions matter to you. You're not just listening to fill the silence or to wait for your turn to speak. You are actively engaged in her experience. You are with her at that moment, sharing the weight of what she's carrying, and that in and of itself is incredibly powerful. It means that she doesn't have to explain herself further or justify her feelings. She doesn't need to rush to fix things. When you respond with, "I understand," you give her permission to just be, to feel her emotions, without the need to compartmentalize or downplay them. Think about the psychological impact of this. When a person feels understood, they feel safer, they feel supported. It's as if you are holding a mirror up to their emotions, letting them see that they are not alone in their experience. You're creating a space where she can be vulnerable and where she can share her frustrations and anxieties without fear of judgment. You're telling her, your emotions are real, they are valid. You don't need to apologize for how you feel. This act of validating her emotions doesn't just create a safe space. It deepens the emotional connection between you in that moment. You've become more than just a listener. You've become someone she can rely on, someone who truly sees her, and as a result, she will feel closer to you. She will feel more connected to you, because she knows that in her moment of vulnerability, you didn't try to fix her. You didn't try to change the way she felt. You simply sat with her in it, and that speaks volumes in turn. This simple phrase also gives her permission to be open and vulnerable with you in the future. It shows her that her feelings will be met with understanding, not dismissal. The more you offer this kind of emotional validation, the more trust is built in your relationship. She'll know that you're someone she can turn to when the weight of the world feels too heavy. You've proven that you can provide the emotional support she needs, not through offering quick fixes or easy answers, but through the simple yet incredibly powerful act of listening and understanding. And this, my friend, is how emotional intimacy is cultivated. It's in these moments when you choose to understand her, rather than solve her problems, that you build a bond that goes beyond the surface and into the very heart of connection. And in return, she will feel a deeper connection to you, because in that moment, you've shown that you are truly in tune with her emotions. You're not just passively listening, you're actively acknowledging her feelings and giving them the respect they deserve. It's a small act that leaves a big impact, because when we feel understood, we feel valued. And when we feel valued, that's when we truly begin to open up and let the connection deepen. So take the time to offer her this simple gift, and watch as your emotional bond grows stronger. When you make the effort to say, "I understand," you are showing her that her feelings are worth your attention and care, and that alone can make all the difference in how she feels about you and how you feel about each other. Let's take a moment to truly dive deep into the powerful psychology behind these two seemingly simple phrases, as they are far more impactful than we might realize. When you say, "Tell me," you're not merely asking for information. You're opening up a doorway to her world, inviting her to share a part of herself that may otherwise remain hidden. This phrase is an invitation, an opportunity for her to be heard, to express her thoughts, her desires and her dreams. It's an invitation to engage her curiosity, to spark something inside her that might have been waiting for a chance to surface. By saying, "Tell me," you're signaling to her that you're genuinely interested in her. Not just the surface-level details of her life, but her inner thoughts, emotions, and experiences. This is no small gesture. It's a powerful moment that activates something in her brain. Specifically, when you ask, "Tell me," you're triggering the release of dopamine, the brain's pleasure chemical. Dopamine is what makes us feel good, excited, and satisfied when we're doing something we enjoy or discussing topics that fuel our passion. It's the sense of pleasure and happiness we feel when we talk about things that excite us or bring us joy. When you give her the chance to talk about herself, You're not just allowing her to speak. You're offering her a direct pathway to experience that dopamine rush. And let's face it, in our fast-paced world, so many people don't always feel truly listened to or understood. When you make space for her to talk about what excites her, you become a source of that pleasurable feeling, which is something that bonds people together on a deeper level. She'll naturally connect with you in a way that goes beyond mere surface-level conversation. By facilitating this emotional release, you're helping her feel valued, and in doing so, you've become a conduit for her emotional fulfillment. There's something incredibly intimate and connecting about this simple exchange. It's as if you're inviting her into a special personal space where she can truly be herself, and that bond can be profoundly meaningful. Now, when you say, "I understand," that's where the magic begins. It's more than just acknowledging her words. It's about validating her feelings, her experiences, and her very existence. "I understand" triggers the release of oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone or the cuddle hormone. Oxytocin is what makes us feel connected to others, fostering feelings of trust, warmth, and affection. It's the same hormone that is released when we hug someone we care about, or when we share a deeply emotional or vulnerable conversation with a loved one. It's what binds us in moments of vulnerability and love. When you say, "I understand," you're offering her not just your words, but your emotional presence. You're saying, "I see you, I hear you, I recognize your struggles, your joys, your thoughts, and I'm with you." In this moment, in doing so, you provide a profound sense of comfort, safety, and emotional security. This feeling of understanding is transformative. It's not just about hearing her, it's about comprehending her on a deeper level, feeling her emotions, and truly empathizing with her perspective. When you say, "Oh, I understand," you're initiating a release of oxytocin that fosters a bond between you. That feeling of emotional connection is irreplaceable. It's what helps her feel safe enough to share more, to open up further. You've created a safe emotional space, and that trust, once established, only grows stronger with time. It's no wonder that people feel drawn to those who can truly listen and understand them. This bond is built on empathy, kindness, and mutual respect. When you make her feel understood, she feels closer to you, more willing to be vulnerable with you, and more likely to deepen her connection with you over time. This simple phrase doesn't just make her feel heard. It makes her feel seen and valued for who she truly is. The magic of "tell me" and "I understand" is not just in the words themselves, but in the emotional impact they have on the person you're speaking to. These words carry a powerful force that helps build trust, connection, and intimacy in ways that go far beyond mere conversation. The dopamine rush that comes from sharing one's thoughts and passions, combined with the warm, safe connection fostered by oxytocin, creates a bond that can withstand the test of time. By saying, "Tell me," you open the door to a deeper understanding. And by saying, "I understand," you build a bridge that connects hearts in a meaningful way. These two phrases, when used thoughtfully and with genuine care, can be the foundation of a relationship built on trust, respect, and emotional intimacy. What could be more powerful than that? Imagine this: you're sitting across from her on your first date, and the conversation naturally drifts toward her passion for painting. You can feel the excitement in her voice as she talks about the way colors come to life on a canvas and the way each stroke carries emotion and depth. She's not just talking about a hobby, she's talking about something that moves her, something that's a part of who she is. Instead of responding with a typical "that's interesting" or "oh cool," you take a step deeper. You don't just want to hear about her interest, you want to know what drives it, what makes it special to her. With a gentle, encouraging smile you ask, "Tell me about your favorite artist. What is it about their work that speaks to you? What makes their art resonate with you on such a personal level?" This question isn't just an invitation for her to continue the conversation. No, it's a gateway for you to connect with her on a more profound level. You're showing that you care about the things that truly matter to her, the things that make her unique. You're not settling for surface-level chatter. You're actively engaging with her heart. This isn't just small talk. It's a chance for you to uncover the deeper layers of her personality, to understand what brings her joy. What makes her heart beat faster in asking this? You show that you're not just interested in the who, what, and when of her life. You're intrigued by the why. You want to know what stirs her soul, what challenges her mind, and what fuels her creativity. By showing this kind of interest, you're offering her something that many people don't, the feeling of being truly seen and understood. She'll know in that moment that she isn't just another face on a date, another person to impress with generic responses. She'll feel the warmth of your genuine curiosity, the way you truly want to understand what makes her tick. And in that moment, the connection between you two begins to deepen. It's not just a day anymore, it's a real conversation, one where you're both stepping into each other's worlds, peeling back the layers to see who you are. Now imagine the conversation shifts, and she opens up about a particularly challenging project she's been working on, one that's been weighing heavily on her. Maybe it's been difficult, something that hasn't gone the way she hoped. There's frustration in her voice, a slight sigh as she recounts the struggle. Instead of rushing in with a solution or trying to fix her problem right away, you pause, you lean in, showing empathy with your eyes and your words. I can understand how tough that must be. You say gently, your tone full of understanding. That sounds incredibly frustrating. I can only imagine how overwhelming it must feel. If I were in your shoes, I'd probably feel the same way in that moment. You're not just offering sympathy, you're offering emotional support. And more importantly, you're offering her a sense of solidarity. You're saying, I'm here with you. You're not alone in this. Your words aren't just an acknowledgement of her frustration. They're a deep, empathetic response that shows you're connected to what she's feeling. You're not rushing to provide a solution, because you understand that sometimes the best thing you can offer isn't an answer, but a space for her to feel heard and understood. You don't need to fix everything. Sometimes just being there to listen and acknowledge her emotions is the most powerful thing you can do. She'll feel a sense of relief knowing that you're not trying to rush her through her emotions, but instead allowing her to feel them fully. Your ability to simply acknowledge what she's going through without judgment or haste allows her to trust you more. She'll feel like you get it, that you understand the weight of what she's dealing with. And that emotional bond, it's priceless. It's not built on grand gestures or big declarations. It's built on moments like these where you give someone the gift of being fully seen and supported. These moments of empathy and connection are the foundation of something much deeper than just a date. They're the building blocks of a true emotional connection. You're not just talking to her, you're sharing her experiences, her feelings, and her journey. And by doing that, you're creating a space where she can be vulnerable, where she feels safe, heard, and valued for who she truly is. And that is how a meaningful connection is born. Imagine for a moment just how incredibly powerful it can be when you combine two deceptively simple but deeply meaningful phrases. Tell me, and I understand these words might seem like just part of everyday conversation, but when used in the right moments, especially in times when she is sharing something personal and emotional, they become extraordinary tools for building an intimate, trusting connection that change the entire course of a relationship. Tell me is an invitation to open the door to her heart. It's a gentle, sincere request that encourages her to reveal more about herself, about what truly matters to her, about her dreams, her fears, and her deepest desires. It's not just asking for information, it's creating a space where she feels safe to share, to open up, and to be vulnerable. Now think about what happens when you follow this with "I understand." These two words transcend simple acknowledgement. They don't just suggest that you've heard her, They show that you are deeply attuned to her emotions, that you recognize the weight of her words and the significance of what she's saying. I understand is not about offering solutions or judgments. It's about validation, recognizing that her experience, no matter what it is real. And it's important. It tells her most profoundly that you are listening with your whole heart, that you're connecting with her on an emotional level that goes beyond the surface. It's a powerful moment where the two of you meet, not just as people communicating, but as souls truly engaging with one another in a way that speaks to the very essence of what it means to be understood and valued. Now picture this scene. She's sharing something deeply personal with you. Perhaps she's telling you about a challenging time in her life, or maybe she's expressing her hopes and dreams for the future, or revealing her passions and the things that fuel her. She might be speaking about her past, the things that shaped her into who she is today, or her aspirations for tomorrow. In these moments, when you respond with, "Tell me more about that," what is it that truly drives you? You're inviting her to dive deeper, to trust you enough to let you in on the parts of her that she may not share with everyone. And then when you say, "I understand why that's so important to you," something incredible happens. In that instant, you're not just hearing her, but you are emotionally connecting with her. You're showing her that her words matter, that her experiences, no matter how small or significant they seem, are valid. You are letting her know that you see her, truly see her, not just for the thing she says, but for the person she is, the hope she carries, the struggle she endures, and the strength she embodies. This combination, "tell me, and I understand," is like unlocking two doors at once. One door opens to her heart, where all of her deepest emotions, dreams, and fears lie. The other door opens to a deeper emotional connection between you both, a bond built on trust, empathy, and a shared vulnerability that transcends simple conversation. In that space, she is not just sharing her story with you. She is revealing her inner world, the places where few people are allowed to enter, and you in turn are receiving that world with love, respect, and understanding, showing her that you appreciate her for who she truly is, not just the role she plays or the mask she wears for the world. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment one below to let me know that you are still here with me. When used together, these phrases, "tell me" and "I understand," create a profound moment of mutual vulnerability and emotional intimacy. They open a gateway to a connection that is not only deeper, but also more lasting. You've created a space where both of you can let your guard down, where there's no need for pretense or fear. Instead, there's openness, trust, and a shared sense of safety, where the emotional walls come down and the true magic of connection happens. She can share her darkest fears, her most beautiful dreams, her deepest regrets, or her highest hopes, and she knows that in that moment she is safe to do so, without fear of judgment or rejection. In relationships, these words are more than just simple phrases. They are transformative tools that can reshape the emotional landscape of your bond. They go beyond words. They are a silent promise to care for one another's feelings and to create a space where both can grow, share, and truly connect. When you say, "tell me," you are offering her a chance to share herself with you, to reveal her truth. And when you say, "I understand," you are offering her the most valuable gift of all, the gift of emotional validation. You're telling her that her voice matters, that her experience is meaningful, and that you are there with her, fully present and engaged, ready to share in the emotional journey she is walking. Isn't that the deepest longing we all share in our relationships? To be seen, to be heard, to be understood in a way that goes beyond the surface-level interactions we often experience in daily life. "Tell me and I understand" are the keys to unlocking that kind of intimacy where two people connect not just physically but emotionally, where words become a bridge to the heart, and where every conversation holds the potential to bring you closer together. These are not just phrases, They are the building blocks of something far more meaningful, a relationship rooted in genuine understanding, emotional connection, and mutual respect. And isn't that what we all yearn for, to be truly known, and to know someone else in a way that goes beyond the ordinary, to create a bond that lasts a lifetime? So what have you learned today in today's video? We explored how two simple but incredibly powerful phrases, "tell me" and "I understand," can transform the way you connect with others. Especially in your relationships, these phrases aren't just about words. They're about creating a space for deeper emotional intimacy and genuine understanding. By saying, "Tell me," you invite someone into your world, showing that you care about their thoughts, their experiences, and their emotions. It's an invitation for them to open up, and in return, you create a bond of trust. Similarly, when you say, "I understand," you give the gift of emotional validation, allowing the other person to feel truly heard, seen, and valued. Now, let's hear from you. What is one thing you've learned today that you will bring into practice in your relationships or interactions? Maybe it's the importance of asking more open-ended questions like, "Tell me," or "How to offer emotional support." By simply saying, "I understand whatever it is, I'd love to know how you plan to incorporate these phrases into your life." Please share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a meaningful conversation. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel by subscribing. You'll ensure that you don't miss any of our future content designed to help you build stronger, more authentic connections. When you share this video, you're helping others discover the power of simple words and emotional connection. So let's spread the word together. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to hearing your insights and seeing how these powerful phrases impact your relationships. Keep practicing vulnerability, understanding, and emotional connection. And remember, these small changes can make a world of difference in how we connect with those around us.